Why, hello. Good morning to everyone. It is so awesome to see everyone again. This is State Senator Karla May, and I am coming with, my update. The May report is what I call it for the state legislature. I kind of put this out here because I kind of want you to hear from me what's going on, what's happening in the state. So I got to do this real quickly because I haven't had a lot of time because it's getting late in the session and we are constantly on the floor and it's a lot of voting going on. I'm on the second floor, so I have to keep running upstairs to vote, but I wanted to definitely come and talk to you because I know that we do this weekly. So let me tell you, the week of March 29th and up to this point, we've been talking about the prescription drug monitoring program. We've already passed that out of the legislature. We passed out a bill today, which was Senate Bill 46. I might reiterate that bill next week. But that bill does something I think you might be interested in. First of all, it talks about vaccination passports. Some people are for vaccination passports, meaning that you have to show the vaccination card that you've been vaccinated to use public transportation and other means of transportation. I didn't like that. I supported an amendment to say that you did not have to show a vaccination passport because we have all been vaccinated all of our lives and we've never had to show a vaccination passport to use public transportation, to fly, to go into a business, to eat at a restaurant. We've never had to do that before. And what about the people that decided not to get vaccinated? Or are we forcing them into something that they decided not to do? So I supported an amendment to say that you're not required to have a vaccination passport. I've been getting a lot of feedback saying we're in COVID. I understand both sides of the issue. I just wanted to let you know that's what I supported. Some people don't agree with that decision, but that's okay. We also in that talked about where when you go to the DMV right now, they have increased some administrative fees, but it's a sunset on it. Them administrative fees are the fees that you pay for paperwork. And so what they're doing though is they're allowing you to actually do your registration at the dealership instead of having to go to the DMV. So they're creating a partnership between the Department of Revenue and the people that sell the cars so that you can do your registration at the DMV. It's going to take some time for implementation, but that's the key. And they're also setting it up where you can roll your sales tax in with your deal. So that's something that Missouri didn't have that passed out today. Also, another bill we discussed was Senate Bill 301 regarding forest management practice of prescribed burning. I think it's more for rural communities dealing with having to burn grass or something like that. But that's the bill, Senate Bill 301. That's what that bill talks about. But it also had in there allowing the Natural Resource Department to purchase Antioch Cemetery. It's a historical grave site originally for freed black slaves located in Clinton, Missouri. That was basically the full substance of that bill. That was the excitement for people to vote for that bill. We also did some legislation that was imposing requirements on charitable organizations more stringent or restrictive than the current requirement or those required by federal law. That was Senate Bill 333. Part of the debate on that bill centered on whether the bill would protect so-called dark money donations and used for nonprofits. So that's what that bill was about. Another piece of legislation that we were looking at was Senate Bill 327, and this expands tax credits for adoption and also includes several other provisions relating to adoption, parental rights, child placement, custody, and visitation. The Senate also debated Senate Bill 120, which was an omnibus military affairs bill, which was a pretty good bill. Among its numerous provisions, the bill creates the Missouri Department of the National Guard contingent upon voter approval. So that was also in that bill. Okay, let's talk about some of my legislation, which I will get back to. This week we had Senate Bill 323, which allows school districts to offer elective social study courses on Hebrew scriptures and New Testament, as well as my Senate Bill 317 regarding the suspension of certain licensings for not complying with a child support order. What we're doing with that bill is we are putting due process in the law, allowing individuals to not be suspended just because they owe, but allowing them to present to the judge possibilities of why they have been unable to pay that. So we're just adding due process. And if the judge at that point still says, okay, we got to suspend it, the judge has the right to do that, but we're giving them the option to give information. So we also have Senate Bill 488, which creates the Economic Distress Zone Fund, as well as the 988 Public Safety Fund, which will fund counseling and support services for law enforcement enforcement agencies. We also have Senate Bill 551, which establishes the Critical Incident Stress Management Program. That's the 988 is the accompanying fund, and that supports law enforcement officers dealing with stress, trauma, and trauma stemming from incidents while on the job. Another one of our bills that we were able to do, because this month was Women's History Month, so we did do a bill designating March 26th of each year as Pioneering Black Women's Day in honor of Gwen B. Giles, the first Black woman to serve in the Missouri Senate. So we did do that piece of legislation. I think that was phenomenal for Women's History Month. We also presented Senate Bill 460, which creates the Community Investment Corporation Development Commission within the Department of Revenue. We presented that bill in the Government Accountability and Fiscal Oversight Committee. It is so many bills out here that's happening because so much is happening. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to summarize things that have passed. What we've done is they've passed out of the Senate, so they've gone over to the House. So they have to go through a process in the House. And once they go through that process, we'll know, where the legislation is, and so we can continue to update you on that legislation. But until then, I'll give you more information next week. I don't want to bore you, but I do want to update you. Talk to you soon. Senator Karla May, 4th Senatorial District.